County Land Design Manual. We do have that 4 more lots where there's no easement exists, where the parent tracts have direct road frontage, and easement shall not be allowed. But if this happens to be the case, you will need to provide a waiver as part of your approval for that. Staff will be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Are you saying they will need an easement to get to this?
They will, yes.
But I was thinking, there's a lot of road frontage.
There is road frontage, but if you look at the lots, so here on screen, here's the road here.
Right.
They'll access from here. So they'll have to have, this lot will have to have an easement, because it's not, the road frontage is out here.
They're going through an existing easement though, right?
So
Or
back it up
extending an
one, you
existing
can see the new lot will be in here, this area.
So they couldn't come from the part that's cleared on Junior Road, go down, right in there.
Yeah, they could, but once again, this new lot's gonna exist here. There's gonna be a new lot, so they would still need an easement. They're not gonna, it's gonna be separate and distinct owners. So if they're creating this lot here, it's gonna be sold.
How big is that lot gonna be?
The lot is gonna be, it's shown on your plat.
0.68 acres.
Yeah.
30,000.
So it's the 30,000 square foot minimum. So if you go back to your ortho, this is the first 2 lots that were divided or cut out of this larger tract. So 1, 2, 3, here's the 4th lot will be here. So essentially that red, this portion here, which is the pole, it's almost like a flag lot.
Yeah, right
If you wanna call it, that's what they're using.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's, I know what you're saying.
Yep. Any other questions?
So
There's
that's
an
the way I
existing
was looking
easement.
at it too.
Are we is the plan to basically extend the existing easement to reach?
That
this
is my
road?
understanding, yes.
Okay.
So this will be the new easement.
So, yeah, so the shaded part is what's gonna be the new easement? Okay, just wanna make sure everybody knew that. Any other questions for staff? Okay, who would like to be heard on behalf of Paradise Homes? Okay. Do you want me to still come up to the mic and just state your name and address for the record?
I'm Ted Hopkins, land surveyor.
If you will, wait till you get to the mic.
I'm sorry. Ted Hopkins, land surveyor. I drew the map, and you can ask me any questions you want.
Okay. Do you have anybody have any questions? Okay. Thank you.
That's it.
All right, anybody else on behalf of Paradise Homes? Okay. Any opposition for Paradise Homes? Okay, back to staff.
Staff does recommend denial, just based off of the design manual, as we don't have the authority as staff to provide a waiver in this case, but I'll leave it to you guys.
Motion to approve with a waiver?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded for a waiver. Any discussion? All right, we'll proceed to vote. All those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Okay, motion passes. Okay, we'll move on to Big Pine Road.
So the Big Pine Road tract, owner is John Green, developer Cloudbreak Investments, surveyor Adams and Hodge Engineering. Property is located in 100 block of Big Pine Road, near the intersection with Barber Mill Road in Clayton Township, and is served by McLemore Fire District and CNS Rescue. The site consists of 14.72 acres, and they're requesting a maximum, 11 lots with maximum allowed density of 14. Property, the property will be subject to the open space fee in lieu of it, and that's would be $1,000 per lot, total of $11,000. Traffic counts along Barber Mill Road are 5,100 vehicles per day. This is a 2016 count. As you can see there, your school district capacity or school capacity enrollment numbers are included in your report as well. And with regard to the comprehensive transportation plan, Big Pine Road does not appear on the CDP as needing improvement. The property is in an environmentally sensitive area overlay district. There is no floodplain located on the property. However, it does subject this to a more stringent impervious surface area limitation, which is 12% as opposed to 15% throughout other areas of the county. A reverse frontage buffer will be required for lots 10 and 11. And once again, going back to the previous subdivision consideration, we do have that easement exception as well, or easement waiver that will be required.
Okay. Any questions for staff? All right, who would like to be heard on behalf of Big Pine Road Track?
Good evening, I'm Donnie Adams with Adams and Hodge Engineering, 314 East Main Street in Clayton. Thanks for letting me come up and speak tonight.
Thank you.
Again, I'm here, my firm is handling the planning and engineering associated with Big Pine project. So what I want to start out doing is just like we typically do, let's talk about the things about our subdivision. Number one, we have identified the voluntary ag district adjacent to the site shown on the map.
Thank you.
No expected issues from that. Again, like Braston said, we are proposing 11 lots, realizing that we have high traffic road being Barber Mill. We're proposing them coming off of Big Pine. They're roadfront lots. We have a shared easement through them. As you can see, the shared driveway easements, we are proposing CBUs on each of those easements. Now what I want to go to is speak to the part about the denial and then my part on asking for a waiver from the easement part of the, not the code, but of the design manual. So the way that I wanted to present, or that I'm going to present this hardship, is to compare and contrast what we've got plus what a subdivision would look like if it met that the one requirement in the design manual about the easements, no new easements. So what I have, if we can go to my folder, it's probably going to be, nope, I'll use that in a second. That's it. Okay, there you go. So we got that up for you to look at, but I also have hard copies if you'd rather look at hard copies of that as I'm going back and forth. Oops.
Yeah, I said we can share.
We can share if we need
Yeah.
to.
Not,
Got plenty? Okay.
Okay.
Should be good.
thank you.
Thank you.
Sure, might be time to look at it.
Thanks,
Okay. I'll start with just the design thought process. So number one, like you've noted, it's a kind of odd shaped track. It's on the corner of a major road being Barber Mill and the Big Pine. And again, like I said earlier, first thing is we want to come off of the road with less traffic. So that's what we're doing in both of these instances. Also, when you first look at it, the first thing you think is, hey, this odd shape, I need to get a road. If I'm going to design typical subdivision layout with a public right-of-way, I need to get my road to run parallel to the longest leg of the property line. So that's what I've done in the cul-de-sac layout that you've seen. Also, got to be mindful of environmental impacts. So so you can see the closer to the Barber Mill side, there's a riparian buffered stream and potential wetlands in that area. So in our proposed layout to meet code requirements, we've shortened that cul-de-sac just shy of the buffer to try to, no, we can't eliminate them, but hopefully we can minimize them. So the road won't do a crossing, but we still have lots 7, 8, 9, and 10 that are on the Barber Mill side of that crossing. So we would have wetland impacts or buffer impacts associated with that. So just on that point, if we contrast it to the one that we have in front of you that we're seeking approval for, seeking the waiver on, we still come off of Big Pine, but in this layout, we're able to avoid, not minimize, but avoid the wetland and riparian buffer impacts. As you can see, lots 10, 9, and 10 would be where there were impacts on the others. We have adequate room to have a lot in the front and septic in the back without making impact to that. So, win for that layout. The next thing that I want to talk about is, again, thinking of it as the quality of product that is being put out there. How good are the lots that we're doing? So if we are critical on the layout, the second layout that I provided you, the one with the cul-de-sac, the downside or the challenging parts, one of those issues is double frontage. And by double frontage lots, I mean lots that have road in your front yard and road in your backyard. And so on this layout, almost half of the lots, because of the shape of this land and the location of it, have double frontage. So you got lots 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, and 13, all are double frontage. And so double frontage are less desirable lots. The next thing, lot number 13, it is a legitimate lot, but it's also, in addition to it being a double frontage lot, it's an odd shaped lot just because it has to be on how we had to come off of Big Pine at the angle versus the rest of the subdivision. So that's also less desirable. So if we take that and compare it and contrast it to the one that we're seeking the waiver on, the one we have in front of you, all of our lots are nicely shaped lots, set up nice. What I mentioned about double frontage, we didn't totally avoid double frontage lots on this layout. Lots number 10 and number 11 are double frontage lots. However, the difference is lot number 11 is almost 2 acres, excuse me, and lot number 10 is almost 4 acres. So with a reverse frontage buffer, that puts the road, that backyard way back there and should not be an issue. The other part, like I mentioned on the other, where we have to have some lots that have houses that are set back really weird or different. On this one, on the layout that we're seeking approval on, we've got it set up to where basically all those houses could be sitting at similar setbacks along Big Pine. They don't have to sit far back to avoid anything or to accommodate septic area. So again, that's a win in my opinion. So what I believe is, out of those things, we've demonstrated that the hardship or the challenges associated with putting in the cul-de-sac street provide the challenges. They reduce the quality. There are additional impacts into environmental, the wetlands, the buffers, whatnot. The final thing that I think is a positive of the layout in front of you, and when I say it, first off, I've never heard of planning board or planning staff, can't you get more lots? So the positive from that perspective of the layout in front of you is our density went down. The difference between the two is 15 to 20% less lots than, or excuse me, more than 15% lots than the cul-de-sac street lot. So that being said, again, I think we put the case out there for that one issue and believe that that shows that there's no true benefit to the general public or to this developer in applying that one particular code statement for the easements. Be happy to answer any questions that you guys have.
Donnie, who maintains on the one you're recommending, who maintains the easement? Is it the homeowners that maintain it?
It'd be the homeowners, and also I should have mentioned, I have our client, the developer here to answer questions or speak as well.
With your permission, I'd like
Yeah, I was
to-
about to ask, yeah.
Thank you. Nathan Evans, Clayton, North Carolina. I'm the developer. So, hardship. What we're seeking here is 11 lots. What we could get, if we followed all the rules, we get vernacular, is 13 lots. I'm making less money. So this has not helped me make more money. I'm actually making less money, but I feel better about the product we're putting on the ground. If you wouldn't mind going back to the other map. I look at that. I grew up on Jack Road. I live on Cleveland Road, so I go down there all the time. Those 3 lots that back up to Barber Mill, I mean, if we got to do it, we got to do it. You know, at the end of the day, I've got a landowner who wants me to develop this land. But I imagine somebody driving into their front door and their kid's trampoline is facing Barber Mill Road and all their stuff, along with people on Big Pine Road. Those lots are far inferior to the lots where everybody fronts on Big Pine Road. Everybody's got a backyard and a field. Everybody's trampoline and play sets in the backyard. Everybody's dog pens in the backyard. Everything's nice and clean, not only for the residents here, but all the residents who live on Big Pine Road. Nobody wants to drive down Big Pine Road and see everybody's stuff in their backyard. So to me, the hardship is not on me. I'll make more money if you say, we don't like your 11 lot one, please do that one. The hardship is on the residents that already live on Big Pine Road and also the residents that are going to be there. They're going to have inferior home sites. I would prefer to live in a home site of one of the 11 that I'm showing you tonight. That's why I'm doing it. But I'm selling 2 less lots, and everybody can do the math. I'm going to make less money. But I can drop past the one that I'm submitting tonight and be proud of it for the next 20 years versus that. Every time I drive down Barber Mill Road, I'm going, eh. But Mr. Green wants me to develop it. So my marching orders are do it my way or do it by the book. So anyway, the hardship is not mine. We'll make less money doing it the way we've submitted. The hardship to me is the folks who are going to end up in these homes. I don't think those folks want to end up with their kids playing in the backyard and Barber Mill Road's 100 foot away. So that's it. And I'm also here to answer any questions too.
Any questions?
On this, back to my question.
Yeah.
Donnie, the reason I asked that, you know, the one concern I would have is with the easement being maintained by the property owners. 15, 20 years from now, when the road's not in the best of shape, and we have fire EMS and everybody trying to get down to, you know, to a house. Same problem we have in the county and a lot of other places. Whereas on the other way, you could petition
Turn
the
over to
DOT
the-
to take it over. So, I mean, I understand the rest of your argument, absolutely, but that is a concern.
So to that, we'll have an HOA. We did something similar, different issues, but on Little Creek Church Road. And I don't know if any of you've been down Little Creek Church Road since those homes were built. Miss Howard, you
I
can't.
just saw them last week.
They're
actually.
beautiful, right? It's far superior, this layout is far superior to a cul-de-sac and everybody's got their backyard on the road. But to your concern, we'll create an HOA, there'll be dues, they'll have a kitty, I don't know the right word, but they'll build up funds, a reserve fund to handle road maintenance. Just like, I'm doing some townhomes in Clayton, private roads, we're not turning them over, same thing. So there'll be a kitty there set up. So it will be in their HOA, will be there and to answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions for Donnie?
Quick clarification on the plan sheet. It looks like to me that the road between the lots 3 and 6, in front of lots 4 and 5, there's no road there on the plan sheet. Is there an assumed connection between these 2 lots?
The way it's laid out in front of you,
3 and 4.
that shared driveway, that shared access gets access from each side, like 4 would have
Okay,
access
I'm sorry.
from that
I
one.
got you. But so there'd be 2 different roads basically that lead
Yes.
into the neighborhood. Gotcha.
Okay.
And that would be like a private driveway.
That's correct.
Any other questions? Okay. Anyone else on behalf of Big Pine Road? Okay. Anyone else on oppose for Big Pine Road? Okay, we'll bring it back to staff.
Donnie, do you need these? No, they're mine. They're mine. I think they're mine, possibly. Hope so. So, with regard to Big Pine Road Track, staff recommendation is do it in aisle only because we can't provide that waiver, for the, access by easement as opposed to the internal street network.
I'd like to go on record saying I appreciate showing us what the conventional method and development would look like with a standard
Yes.
cookie cutter subdivision, but this is more streamlined, and it's, I think it'd be more eye appealing for everybody that bought out that way.
Is that a motion?
Yes, that's a motion to approve as put before us
Second.
with the waiver.
The waiver. Second.
Motion has been made and seconded for a waiver for Big Pine Road. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. All right, next up on the agenda is Laura Track.
So the, Lyra Tract 2023, owner is Maggie Way, LLC, developer the same, surveyor Adams and Hodge Engineering, involving essentially four tracks, as identified in your staff report. Address is 776 Maggie Way, consists of 57.21 acres and 40 lots, maximum allowable density 82. Water service will be provided by Johnston County, and all lots will be served by individual septic systems. There will be no open space provided, and they will have to pay a fee in lieu of $1,000 per lot, if approved. The school district, you can see your school information, both capacity and enrollment, in your staff report. And with regard to Maggie Way, and it appearing on our CTP, it does not appear as needing improvement. And there is a note for you that the DOT, upon review, does require that lot 38 must be served by the existing driveway, and all other lots must be internally served. There will be an additional note or condition of requirement from NCDOT. I'll point out to you that they also want to limit any further driveways for the property, and I'll show that to you one moment. Any further driveways for the property, let me know where. Located here, they want to limit, if this is to be developed any further driveway, if it's to be further subdivided, or this is to be subdivided, they want to limit it to a single shared driveway for any resulting lots. So anything between 1 and 38 would, they will only allow or permit one additional driveway. Be glad to answer any questions you may have about Lyra Track 2023. 2021, you have seen this before. It came to you in 2021, and that is in your stack of maps or your map packet, and you'll note it's an individual map by itself, and it's actually, you'll see in red, it's noted as 2021 approval. Should be the last map in that stack of maps. It won't be as far as an individual.
Got it. Thank you.
So this is what it looks like.
Yep, got it. Thank you.
Got it.
Any questions?
Any questions?
looking at it correct, that it looks like on the new one versus the one we approved in 2021, they're including a little more land, and they're getting a couple more lots?
There are more lots, essentially.
That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
so essentially, if you look on the 2021 map, there were lots that were designed and laid out to where they were the full length from the new
Right.
street back over to Maggie Way, so it incorporated this track. This is being removed. So yes, they are getting more lots.
Just a couple more lots?
Yeah, just a couple
Okay.
more lots, but it is actually removing this portion as well.
Gotcha, yeah.
And you were referring to the 2.23 acres, DOT requested only one driveway for that?
That would be this parcel
Okay,
right there,
okay.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, just trying to limit, obviously, those cuts along Maggie Way.
Right.
Which we're not doing anything with that tonight.
No, but it would be a condition of the approval of this. It would limit that parcel. If it's subdivided or in a driveway permitted, it would only be a single driveway permitted for that tract.
Okay.
They just want to reduce the number of driveways in that short distance.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, who is here on behalf of the Laura Tract?
Good evening, Emily Bedingfield with Lipscomb Development, 334 East Main Street in Clayton. I don't have much to add. That was very thorough. Just to reiterate that this is very, very similar to what you guys saw before. 2 additional units have been added. Essentially, we were able to acquire an additional piece of land and reconfigure it so now things aren't so wonky. Now we have a more traditional subdivision layout that includes 40 lots. But happy to answer any questions. We do have James Lipscomb of Lipscomb Development here, as well as the engineer on record.
Okay. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else on behalf of Big Pine, or Laurel Drive? Okay, anyone opposed? Okay, back to staff.
As it relates to Lauer Tract 2023, staff does provide or give you a recommendation of approval and provides for you the conditions as stated in your staff report.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve with the conditions as put forth.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded with the condition of the driveways mentioned earlier. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, all right, next up on the agenda is our rezoning.
Yes, Madam Chair. So your case 2103 is modification of an existing special use permit for property located at 6275 NC Highway 50 North in Elevation Township. Property is on Industrial 1, the Legacy Zoning Special Use District, and there is an existing special use permit, and this is to allow a chemical distributorship, and essentially what they do, just to remind you that it's like bulk chemicals, so they fill large containers and deliver those to off-site clients in large containers as opposed to smaller jugs or smaller containers, and distributing in that manner. The request is to add, the request is actually to allow office space, in particular, in this case, it was an electrical contractor, as an approved use to the special use permit. Just to remind you, with the adoption of Chapter 160D of General Statutes, the role of this board with regard to special uses is a little bit different. You are not an advisory board. This planning board does provide a forum for public input. It is not a public hearing, and you will not be making a recommendation. So if you'd like to open the floor for any public input, that would be fine, and you could actually hear from the applicant as well if you'd like.
Okay, all right. Floor is now open for case rezoning of 21-03.
Good evening. I'm Carter Hunt of 3710 Exchange Glenwood Place in Raleigh, and I am the corporate vice president of Hunt and Company, doing business as Kim Station. I've got 3 single sheet handouts I'd like to hand everybody, if I may.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This just shows.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Hunt.
Okay, this one shows just basically where our building is located, the lot, all that. You can see the buildings is in the middle. We were here in Smithfield, and we're very pleased with the location we had. But we are a growing business and outgrew that building. That's a 10,000 square foot building. This building's 22,000 square feet, and it has many offices, many more than we need. And, excuse me, Mr. Wood of TW Electric reached out to us, and he is a growing business as well. And so he was looking for additional or larger office space. And we have so much office space that we are not using. He asked if he could rent some space from us, and that's why we're here tonight. Now here, I've got another handout that shows a little bit more technical drawing, and the highlighted portion shows the parking spaces.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Is this the old Arcom building?
It is.
Okay.
Yes, it was a Hyundai heavy equipment place as well.
Yes, sir.
And this sheet shows the building a little more. The highlight portion is actually, we've got 11 parking spaces on that end of the building. Our employees, we just have 7 employees that come in every day, and they park on the east side, which of course is over here. And with all those parking spaces, we only use about a fourth of those. And Mr. Wood tells me they need about 6 parking spaces, and there are 11 on the end of the building. Okay? So we've got more than enough parking spaces. And also, this request does not require any changes to the building at all. So it's literally them just moving into some office space. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
This is the last one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, and this last handout shows them in the southeast corner of the building. They would just occupy those 2 suites, and that's it. And so we feel good about being able to provide space that's going to help a growing company that wants to stay here in Johnston County. We've been very happy in this building for the last 3 years. We've had no complaints from our neighbors. We've had good fire inspections. Everything's going well, and we just think it's a great opportunity for us to keep a good company here in Johnston County and help them out as well. Any questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay.
So is this, is your role public forum? Just provide a place for a public forum. This will go before the Board of Commissioners at their regular meeting in November.
Thank.
20.
I was about to say, I just had it pulled up.
I don't know, I've got my math is all wrong right now. I think.
21st?
No, it'll be the
No,
6th.
Sixth.
So November 6th, it will go to public hearing November 6th before the Board of Commissioners. That's it for that.
Okay. All right. Next up on the agenda is the, back for the decision, decision approving major subdivisions of from the last subdivision. Was this in August, at the August meeting?
August meeting, yes.
Yes.
So you'll see, this is in reference to the written decision that requires review and approval by this body for the Old Fairground Road Lambert Track subdivision from last month.
You need a motion?
We do,
Yep.
please.
I make a motion.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes.
And that is all we have for you this evening.
Okay, anything else? Alrighty, do I need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
You done good, Mr. Chairman.
Whew.